How are we doing tonight, Spurs fans? Let me hear them hands. Come on. Give it up. It's that time of night. Come on. Send all the positive energy through the screen, through your fingertips, or negative energy, whatever you got. Energy. That's what I'm talking about. Give a round of applause for yourselves as well. Come on. Got through another night. Here you are again. You're getting through another week. Listen, the first full week of January, first full week. Some of y'all just getting back to work. I hear you. Yeah, nobody likes work. Nobody likes work. I've been working though. You know what I'm saying? Hard working man. And then I come back to the live stream and come back to you guys live tonight. It's De La Spurs. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. So happy to be here. So happy to see y'all again. Hopefully you guys are happy to see me as well. Like I said, made it through another night. You know what I'm saying? That's luck in and of itself. Some people didn't. So glad to make it another night. But hey, man, we're gonna enjoy our next hour. Just about an hour. I don't want to take too much of your time. Just an hour. But come on, man. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. Give yourselves a round of applause for joining me tonight. You didn't have to. You could have been anywhere tonight. You could have been doing anything. You're here with me. And that's what's important. Let's get into it. I am De La Spurs. I'm gonna be your host for tonight. Welcome to the show. We're gonna be getting into everything. Sunderland, another draw at home. The crowd reaction. Thomas Frank's reaction. Y'all's reaction. Let me know what y'all think in the comments and everything. But first, gotta do the logistics. Here. Like and subscribe. Like this stream. Subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna be coming live on Wednesday, right? Coming to you live on Wednesday, same time, 6:30. So go ahead, subscribe to the channel so you can see my posts, all right? And then if you follow me on X as well, which is also in the description, I will post with whenever I'm going live with the link and everything of the live, so you don't even have to go and try to find it on YouTube. It also has my YouTube channel link, so you can just subscribe right there from the tweet. So, but yeah. Go ahead, follow me, subscribe to the channel, like this stream, start spreading the word around, leave a comment, share this with friends, family members. Like I said, if you're telling people, you let them know, hey, the next hour is for De La Spurs, I'm watching this, go ahead and share the link with them too. Let them know about the channel. Say, hey, why don't you go ahead and tune in as well to this greatness, right? Because you don't want to be late to this. You don't want to be late to this greatness. That's what I'm telling you right now. You don't want to be late to this. But yeah, man, go ahead and do those logistics for me. I appreciate it so much. Hold on, we need to do something with the camera. Okay. A little bit more. There we go. Angle it down just a little bit more. But yeah, man, we're gonna get into everything. First, we're gonna talk about first off another draw at home. First game of 2026, and it ends in a draw. Just can't seem to get a home win for whatever it is. I don't know what it is. Well, actually, I do know what it is. It's how we're setting up. That's how we're playing, man. We fell off in the second half. We sat back in the second half. In Sunderland, man, they've been a good team all this season. I think they're having a good season this year. So the fact that we sat back and you just we just let them do what they did to us, and they got into the game, got some rhythm, and then boom, you got a second goal. So I mean, it's yeah, man, it's I can't believe we let that game go. But we're gonna talk about that, the draw at home with Sunderland. We're also gonna get into what is of our identity right now, the lack of identity here at Tottenham. What is the plan? And that's going to obviously tie in together. But what's the plan moving forward? And I'm not just talking about the January. I'm talking about moving on into the future and what this ownership, this new Enic regime, what they want to bring into Tottenham. And are we seeing that? Are we seeing them taking the steps in the background to do that? So we're going to be talking about all of that and more tonight. Also, you may have seen in the topics, there's going to be a rant about the scum across the street. I'll get into that later. We'll get into it. But first, we're just going to go ahead and talk about Sunderland coming in to the most expensive toilet bowl in the world, which is Tottenham Stadium. That is currently what that stadium represents, is a big old toilet bowl, because we've been playing toilet football. We've been having toilet results at the toilet stadium. So you might as well call it Toilet Hotspur Stadium instead of Tottenham. Toilet Hotspur Stadium. Absolutely terrible. We'll just go ahead and just talk about really the second half. I mean, the first half, listen, we have the SOFA score pulled up and everything. Listen, first half, we created a couple of chances. We obviously capitalized on that corner. Again, not an open play goal, but a goal is a goal. It looks like it was Ben Davies' goal. He got the assist. Matt Van de Ven got the assist. And from there, it just felt like we kind of set off in the second half. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie here. I don't think we deserved to win that game in the end when you look at the final result. But if there's any game you think, kind of like say for like Man United or even an Arsenal for this instance, right? When you see them struggling through a game and you're like, man, is this a game they're going to lose? Are they really about to lose this team? And they just shit house a couple of goals, put in a corner where it deflects off of everybody, falls into the net, right? A screamer from the player who you expect it from, but just does it out of nowhere. Something, right? You there's some way some of these teams just kind of know how to shit house their way to a win. But with Tottenham, it's like, first of all, we set up to sit back in the second half. There's no way you can tell me that the players just couldn't. I mean, I don't think the players are good enough to attack for two full halves. I'll kind of get into that for a little bit, but like, there's no way that there wasn't an instruction on the players to not continue to attack and move the ball forward. And I think you couple that with the team not being as good as it is, and the attack not being as good as it is, right? I think Frank is saying that it may be better for us to sit back whenever we score a goal or two, or whatever we do in the first half, right? If we're able to get out to a lead, great. We can sit back on that. If we're still drawn with the team, okay, we can still sit back and get a draw, maybe try to hit on the counter and get a goal. But if we're down, we sit back as well. And it's just, I don't know. It's like in whatever situation, it feels like Thomas Frank is setting the team up to sit back and not attack and push and drive forward. And just like what we saw today, especially in this league, the Premier League, you have to, one, take your chances, which I don't think we did much of in that game. I don't think we created a whole bunch of chances. And then two, if you don't take those chances and you sit back, sit on your hands, then you're just going to allow the other team to just go in and do what they want and dictate the game. And in this league, there's a saying here in America due to the NFL, right? And it's called any given Sunday. The saying is it's any given Sunday. So just sort of like the Premier League and playing football on Sunday, any given Sunday, any team in the Premier League can give you a run for your money. It doesn't matter the size of club, the size of stadium, how many players you have, how many. If you're not up for it and you're not willing to take your chances and you're not willing to put teams to bed, teams will come back and try to get at you, right? These teams are not afraid for the physical fight. They may be afraid of the mental whatever, but they're not afraid of the physical fight. They're willing to get in there. A lot of these teams are willing to get in there and grind those results and willing to try to play their football, regardless if you're on it that day or not. So with Tottenham, especially in our form, you think as a fan, you want the team to push as just a form of not even like a luck or fortune. You need the team to push because, one, we want to see the team push. The fans are desperate to see some sort of offensive, attacking, flowing football. But two, you want to see the team push because it signifies to the fan that the mentality is we're still going. We want to do more. We're not just trying to get a goal or two or just stop this team from scoring on us and then settle with the draw. And it also shows at home that this team has the team has an energy and a self pride and everything when they play that way. Because to be quite honest, it does take high level skill and energy to play that type of free flowing offensive football. So when you see the team doing that, it's like, okay, this team is exerting that much energy to play that football for the home fans, and the home fans appreciate that. And it just feels like with Frank, and I understand the squad isn't good enough. I don't think the squad is good enough to play that way. I think we saw last season under a certain manager, he who may not be named, because I don't want people coming down on me with, this Ange hate or whatever. But or I don't want to start any sort of Ange debates because it's just divisive and whatnot. But what I'll say is this, right? Like with the manager we had last season, we tried to play that attacking, free-flowing football, and we saw that we couldn't compete on all four levels of the competition. Like literally, we weren't mathematically relegated, but literally in our position, we were right there to being relegated. There's only one competition that we went. We went to the semifinal of the. I think that was the. Is that the FA Cup? I think. Think so, but we went to the semifinal, then we went to a final. Right. Let's not forget. Was it that season? I think that season that we played Fulham, and we just fully collapsed. That might have been the season before, but yeah, we weren't good enough to compete on all four fronts. We weren't good enough to compete on all four levels. So it's like the fans demanding that now, after you just saw the team couldn't do it, after a manager just watched a manager try to do it and fail and lose his job, it's like, okay, that manager wants to be a little bit more calculated about how he goes about this. Because as much as fans want to see that attacking football, fans also want to win. And fans also don't want to lose. And I think Thomas Frank says this team is not good enough to win every game, so let's just try not to lose every game. And that makes sense. It makes all the logical sense in the world. But me, as a Tottenham fan, I can't sit there and watch that all the time. Especially with the level of football that we're playing. If we were playing some nice passing, flowing football, but we weren't really doing anything about it, maybe, just maybe, that'd be a little bit better. Maybe fans wouldn't be as angry. But with the level that we're playing now, it's like we're not playing great football. We're defending not because we're choosing to, it's because we have to, because we're not good enough to keep the ball and attack and create chances. So it's like we give the ball away and then we're having to defend, right? We're not good enough to create those chances and create possession and pin teams in and then into their half. So it's like we're having to defend on our own. It's not just a matter of us choosing to do that. It's like we're having to do that, right? And then when you we can't we can't pin teams in and everything like that. So it's just you can't sit back and support it and watch it really as a fan. It's just not going to feel right. It's not going to feel right to you, and it's not going to sit well. We're not playing good football, and it's just very frustrating. It's all accumulating to a very frustrating time with the team. And for a lot of fans, they feel disconnected with the squad. A lot of fans, I think there was a portion of the fan base that felt alienated and disconnected with the squad even last season. Even though we won that trophy, they're just like, well, what's going on? What we see from the ownership, what they're doing, it's like we don't know what's going on. I don't know what to expect of this team anymore. Yes, the trophy is great, but that trophy is only going to do so much for a fan, It's only going to do so much. Yes, for bragging rights. Yes, we can put the banner up. But then after that, what are you doing for me lately? What are you doing for me lately? That was last season. What does that mean for this season? And fans are saying it means absolutely nothing because the ownership and the team is not cashing in on using this win and this trophy as a platform to move forward. Similar to what we saw with Pochettino when we made it to the final. Granted, we didn't win, but a lot of people would have said making it to that final was a platform for the team to push forward, and we never did. As a matter of fact, we regressed. We refused to buy players. We pretty much sabotaged the platform that we had. And it feels like if we go through a similar situation with this January window and we don't buy anybody, right? If maybe we recall some people, and maybe that's the plan, is to recall some people from loans if the other teams will agree. But if we don't buy anybody, you're looking at a similar situation where you have this platform, the team has this platform, and they do nothing, the ownership does nothing to progress forward. So, I mean, all in all, in the second half, just to get back to the game, Sunderland got the goal. Let's see, when did they get that goal? That was in the 80th minute. And then pretty much from the 80th minute, we were pretty pinned into our half. They were putting in their chances and creating chances from there. So we just kind of sat back. We let Sunderland get into the game. We let them get a rhythm. We let them get a flow, right? We're not good enough defensively, I don't think, to sit back and just absorb these punches from these teams, say like an Arsenal or an Aston Villa or what's another team that can do that? Can't really think of any other teams that are that strong defensively now. But like, yeah, we're not good enough to do that. I don't think our defense is that good. As much as it's improved from last season, it's definitely not at that level to where I think that we can just trust our defense to just get us through game after game after game. And we're seeing that it's not good enough to get us through game after game after game. We're drawing with these teams. We may not be losing, but the defense is not providing us with the platform to win these games. And I think that's when you can rely on your defense, is when it's providing you that platform to win, because you could say we can go out and if this attack isn't working, we can make another variation of the attack and try it this way, or we can plug in this player and put in this player because we know at the back it's going to be solid. But if it's like we're defending for our lives every game, you can say, yes, we're defending for our lives and we're being successful and not conceding goals and not losing. But, like, it's not sustainable, really. And that ultimately goes to the last point I was trying to make. Like, when we're not passing well, we're having to defend for our lives. Like, the fans aren't going to be inspired by it because it's not sustainable. Fans aren't sitting there, come on, defend for your lives, come on, let's do it. Like, they're not doing that because it's not a sustainable way of football, and it's not inspiring at all because of the passing and the actual football is bad. It's actually bad on the eye. And then when you're having to defend for your life, it's like people don't want to watch that, and it's not sustainable at all. And Thomas Frank is going to have to make some major changes. Can we get it? Can we do our question? Did Thomas Frank get it right? I mean, no, he didn't. I think whatever he told him in that second half was not it. That was not the words that they needed. I don't know if it was words of encouragement, words of wisdom, words. I don't know words of any what it was, but that was not good. And he's going to. I keep saying this. He keeps saying this every game. He's going to have to adjust. He's going to have to make changes. Is he actually making those changes? Is he seeing what the fans are seeing? And yes, the fans are going to see it from a different lens because, like I said before, logically, he's not going to sit there and want to play the all-out gung-ho football that we were just playing. The last manager who did that almost got the team relegated and got fired. So fans expecting him to just go in and play that way again and say, oh, but if I make these fine-tuned. No, he's going to stay far away from it. Far away from it. He said, look, they need a different approach. That approach may be fine for that season because they didn't get relegated, but they need a different approach, right? But this approach that he has is not meshing well with the fans. It's not looking good on the eye, and ultimately it does not look like it's sustainable. And again, he's going to have to adjust. He's going to have to go to the drawing board and try to make those changes. He's going to have to, right? I think he's going to have to sit down with this team. I don't know the next time we kind of get a break and play. I don't think we really will get that in the month of January, but the next time we do get a break and play, I think whenever that squad gets together, he just needs to do passing drills. Passing. From 1 yard to 2 yards to 3 yards to 4 yards to 5 yards, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go up 1 yard till they get the full length of the field. Do two on ones, right? Pass and go, right? Overhead, not overhead kicks. Crosses, right? Lobbed kicks, right? On the ground passes, through ball passes, through the lines, like. Practice some sort of passing to get this team into at least some form of passing because it looks like we're not even doing that at all. It looks like they're not practicing passing at all. They're not trying to pass at all. They're practicing defense, and then once we practice defense, we're not really that good at defense. So it's like you can say that what we're practicing is making a structure for what we've done so far, but then it's like what we've done so far hasn't even looked that good either. So it's like you got to kind of create a balance at some point. If you try to focus this whole season on defense, which I feel like is what he's going to try to do, right, and say I just want to get the defensive structure and then maybe I can worry about the offense next season when I get more players. But fans going to want that balance. I want that balance. I mean, at this point, like, I mean, I don't want my prediction to be right, being in 10th place and finishing within the top 10 would be great. Like, that'd be a good season. Like, making it up 7 places, making up more than 7 places, 7 plus places up in the positions, I think it's a good season for a first manager logically, and I'm sure he would say the same thing. He's probably, if that's the case, if we end up finishing 10th or ninth, he's going to say that was a good season, and fans are going to go absolutely crazy. But as a fan, right, I'm a fan of Tottenham. As much as I want to see these things logically, right, my heart and my pride for this team will not allow me to let this season go by unscathed as far as what my eyes had to witness. My eyes witnessed something horrible. So, um, yeah, man, it's a situation not a lot of managers want to be in. It's a situation not a lot of managers to be able to cope with. He's gonna have to figure it out. Um, we've already kind of seen him complaining with. I've seen quotes of him saying like, "My time at Tottenham hasn't been the most fun, most super happy fun time in the world, right?" And nobody expected it to be like you see these managers that come in and when they leave, like yeah, like nobody you shouldn't have expected this to just be some walk in the park. This is a club that is always in close to turbulence, almost complete pitfall. And every manager, right, is like a paperclip, just a paperclip holding on, making sure that they can hold on every season. And guess what? These paper clips break very easily. That's why we have to get one or two, or we get one every, 1 or 2 seasons. So it's, he's gonna he's got to make some things up, man. He's got to make some things up. He's got to do something. He's got to do something else because it's that close. It's that close to just absolute mania. Listen, I don't think Frank got it right. Just to go through that, Frank got booed again. Yeah, he got booed. What are you gonna do? But listen, is he is going to need to, how should I say, endure himself to the fans. He needs to do something, whether it's within the media or an action during a game. And it could be as simple as just winning. If he can win 3 games in a row, I think that would, I don't know, that's not going to save the season, but that would turn almost half of the tide of fans that want him out, because half of those fans, I think, just roll with whatever the emotions and the feeling of everybody is in the moment. And I think that's what a lot of voices are saying, is that they want Thomas Frank out. So I think if he could win like 3 games in a row, I think that would quiet at least almost close to half the voices that want him out. And then the other half, he's gonna have to prove, with more form throughout games, or a successful summer window with buying players and getting rid of some players, right? Like, I don't know if there's gonna be much that he can say at this point to save his relationship with the fans. Like, even if he just came out and was just like, guys, I'm wrong. I've been saying things in the media and I haven't been taking this job well because it's my first big job and I've been nervous and I just want to impress everybody, and not even that would work. Right? He could do the get on his hands and knees and do the Japanese fucking surrender and apologize. That's not going to work. There's nothing that he can really say right now to save his position. It's going to be about action. And honestly, the action that would ultimately first of all, that probably helped the most is getting this team playing some attacking, free flowing football, which he's not going to do, and he doesn't think this team is capable of. I don't think this team is capable of doing it. And I don't think it's going to happen this season. So he's going to have to try to find some form in his football and win multiple games in a row to change this tie. And if not, he's coming into a very, very, if he finished this season, he's coming into a very, very rough summer because we're going to get into this. Hold on, where's my ticker? He's going to come into a very, very, very harsh reality because I'm not sure if this ownership is going to back him. But I wanted to just kind of moving from that topic, just trying to move into a topic that I think a lot of fans have been mentioning is why can't we attack more? And I wanted to try to bring some balance into this because I think, again, I think we have a manager that sits there and likes to think logically, which sounds crazy, but it's the truth. And I think fans don't want a manager that's 100% logical. They want a manager that knows how to play on the heartstrings of the fans. And funny enough, it's like the fans, in a sense, do kind of want to be lied to because, I mean, like, I can't say that the manager previously lied to us, but at the times when fans were saying, "Oh, can we win the Premier League?" and he said, "Oh, we'll let the fans dream." What do you mean, let the fans dream? Of course, we're not going to win the Premier League. He knew we weren't going to win the Premier League. It ended up being that he had to give up on the Premier League, like before the season even ended. So, but like, I think, to get back to my point, fans are under the opinion of. I honestly just forgot where I was talking about right now. I'm so sorry. I honestly just left I just brain farted on that point. But I mean, I was talking about we have a manager that's logical, thinks logically, and I think what he's thinking right now, just to try to provide some balance, is that he looks at this squad and he says, "Okay, first of all, the goals in the squad are gone. We got rid of Harry Kane, we got rid of Son, and we got rid of Brendan Johnson, which I believe were probably our three biggest goal contributors at the club in the last years." So you can fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's true. That those three contributed the most goals for us throughout the seasons. And we see now, especially after getting rid of Brendan Johnson in that context, with that in hindsight, just how much we're struggling with attacking and the level of players we have to use in our attack. And I think I think Thomas Frank is saying, listen, the squad is not capable of doing that right now. So let me do this. I'm going to make sure that no matter what game we're playing, in every game, we set up to try to be sure in the back, try to set out, have this structure, have this spine in place so that when I do eventually get rid of this player and this player and this player, everybody still kind of knows what they're doing and that we know what we're doing as a defense. And then as time progresses and maybe next season, he can get his fingertips on the offense and try to control them and maybe do some more passing patterns and in things of that nature. But I think what Frank is saying is that this team, the reason why we don't attack more is that the squad is not capable of attacking more. And listen, fans, I think that has split a lot of fans, that opinion in and of itself. Because a lot of fans will say, well, we were attacking more with the previous manager. We were doing better attacking more with that previous manager. And to top it all off, we actually achieved something, which was winning a trophy playing that way. So for this manager to come in and to denounce that and say, "Oh, we can't do it. We're not capable of doing it," a lot of fans are screaming bullshit on that, which I really don't have any argument against, because if you do look at the statistics, we were a better passing team than we were last season. We were a better passing team than we were. We were a better passing team last season than we were than we are now, and we were more attacking, and you could say that the end result was a trophy. So, like, in a lot of fans' eyes, the way we played last season, there wasn't really anything wrong other than not having a deep enough squad and not having good enough players, and maybe Ange not making those adjustments as he needed to. But I think Thomas Frank looks at it in the opposite and says, he played that way, yes, but it wasn't sustainable. And ultimately, it got to a point where Spurs lost 22 games on the season. He started this horrible home record that Thomas Frank has inherited and now has the monkey of trying to get. Thomas Frank didn't have this monkey on his back of having a horrible home record. I'm pretty sure when he was at Brentford had a decent home record. So to him, he's like, when my team played at home, we weren't this bad. But now this monkey's on my back from this manager that you were all saying you want him to start playing like again. Thomas Frank could be saying, I don't have a human son. I saw Brendan Johnson on that team. We don't have a Harry Kane anymore. Solanke's injured. Kulusevski's injured. Madison was going to be my guy, but now he's hurt. He's out for the rest of the season. There's no telling when he's going to come back. Thomas Frank also could be thinking, well, I mean, like he could be thinking, this squad that I have now, not only do I not have, I guess, the players that we think that we're all hoping would make the impact, but he could be saying, I don't have a squad that is suited to how my offensive style, because maybe his offensive style is different, right? Because there's different ways of being attacking. There's not one way of doing it. So maybe he's saying the way he does it, especially with what he sees in a Kudus, is that maybe these wingers, right, they get the ball, they buy time, allowing everybody to get into the box and fill in while they're creating space and time for themselves. They get away, create a chance, and there's people in the box to ping it across. He can keep the ball at his feet, try to get closer to the goal. And maybe that's how he likes to be attacking, is by giving time for everybody to fill in and fill out the box and stand outside of the box and let the team kind of settle and he relies on those wingers. Those wingers are the key to his offensive play, which is what I personally believe. It's what it looks like. And I think that's why he wants a Kudus, and we've been looking at Savinho. If we could have a Kudus and a Savinho on each side, the defense is automatically going to be drawn to those players out wide, and that's going to allow the Richarlisons to come in and get into the box. It's going to allow the Bergvals and the Bentancurs to get on the outside of the box and help dictate play, right? It's going to allow Paulinho to make those late runs into the box and try to do something. It's going to allow people to get in and fill in, right? So maybe Thomas Frank is saying this team is not suited to how I want my offense to look like with the structure I have for the rest of the team. I have my defense and midfield set up this way so it could be this way for my offense, or maybe vice versa. My offense is set up this way, so this midfield and defense has to be set up this way. And maybe he's setting up that way. We see him. Sometimes you just ping balls out whenever it feels like we can't do the short passes, short, intricate passes to each other, playing out the back, right? So maybe that is part of it, which I believe it is part of it, is you can go long to those wingers who are out wide if we can't play the ball in the middle. If they're pressuring us, that's the outlet, is going to the wingers. And then once they start dropping back to cover up the wingers, then we can start bringing players in and playing possession in that way. It sounds like I'm giving Frank a lot of bail here, but I'm just trying to figure out. I'm just asking questions. I'm just trying to look at it from both views of why we don't attack more, because it is an issue, regardless on which aisle of side of the aisle you're on. If there is one in this debate when you're asking this question, or if it's simply a Thomas Frank in or out sort of debate, whatever facet or context you want to look at this of why Spurs don't attack more. I'm just trying to provide the balance, and I think there is balance to be had, because again, like I said, I hear from one side, well, we did play this attacking way where we attacked more. We were statistically, visually, results-wise, a better team. Not with the 17th place finished, of course, but with winning a trophy. And then you have Thomas Frank's side of the aisle, or the people on the other side that said, well, okay, yes, we did try to play that way, but that was unsustainable. That was unsustainable almost at every level except for one competition, except for one. There's only one competition where that was successful in. Everywhere else, it failed. And our bread and butter competition, the Premier League, it damn near got us relegated. So if I'm a coach, I would say I'm not doing that ever again. I'm not trying that with these players. I'm sure the players don't probably want to try to play like that either. And then we've heard in other conversations, obviously, Ange made reference to, how he had to get with Romero and Van der Ven and talk about how there needs to be adjustments and how he's giving up on the league because he can't keep up with it and all that. So, yeah. I want to move on to the next topic. What is the plan, and is there a plan? Let's start out first with what is the plan. I'm going to get through these real quick. I don't want to spend too much time because these are kind of both in the same question. So what is the plan? Right now, I'm asking this question off the basis of believing there is a plan, which I don't believe there's a plan. But in the instance of if I did believe there's a plan, what do I think the plan is right now? Just so that there's some sort of semblance of what someone trying to make some sense of what the hell is going on, right? So I would say it like this, right? I think right now what the plan is that we're going to go into this January window, and I think Thomas Frank is going to want to uphold the same standards as far as finding a player of the quality that's needed to bring this team up a level. And I think there may be some conflict with that because that might not be the exact level of player that's available now in this January window. And if that's not the level of player, and I think we've already heard out of this camp that they're not just going to bring people in just for the sake of it. They're bringing in the game changers. They want to bring in the players that will change the squad and uplift the squad. So if they can't find that, and they don't want to bring in just anybody in just to say we brought in somebody, then we may go through a January window with nobody coming in. And PR-wise, with the season Frank is having so far, and I think honestly, ultimately, it will affect the season. But PR-wise, that's just going to be the last nail in the coffin. Because then you're saying that Frank is backing this team to continue playing the same crap football that we've been playing, right? So PR wise, that would just be a nightmare. But the plan is to go into this January window and to bring in the players that will uplift the squad and change this, and I think change some of the outlook that we have here. I think it's definitely to get an attacking player. I think someone on the left wing now. I know Savinho is hurt again. I think he got hurt not against Chelsea, but I think the game before that. I forgot who they played before that one. Was that Nottingham Forest? I don't think it was Nottingham Forest. But the last game Man City played before Chelsea, I think he got hurt in that game. So I don't think Savinho's available. I think I was seeing things with like Akliush. They definitely want an attacking player. We're looking to get another attacking player, and I think ultimately they want to bring in someone again that uplifts the levels, that has skill about him, but will he provide the goals is the question. Because I think ultimately, out of anything that this team needs is goals. We need goals. Like we need at least a player to come in and provide at least 10 goals for us. At least in the Premier League, not even talking about the Champions League. We need at least 10 goals in the Premier League if we want to sit here and stay in this position and try to push to get in the top 10, right? So the plan is to bring an attacking player. I think we'll bring at least one attacking player. I don't know if we can bring in multiple players in this window. I think we'll bring in one, if anything, and it'll be one of those quote unquote versatile players that he can play in the 10, he can play out wide, he can play up front, he can play in the 8, he can maybe do the 6 job because he's not very good at anything. But yeah, I think we're going to try to go for a player that brings the levels up of the squad, but it's also a Swiss Army knife that can play in the middle, can play out wide, hell, maybe be able to play as a striker or as a false 9 or something, whatever. But we'll bring in an attacker. Do I think we would bring in a defender? No. Do I think we'd bring in a midfielder? Maybe. I think maybe, if anything, Thomas Frank may go for another midfielder. More than likely, number 8 that's good on the ball. And I do think there are some available, or we can start making some inquiries this January for the summer window. But those are really the 2 players I think. And I think that is the plan in the short term for January. Long term, what do I think the plan is? Well, to be quite honest, I don't really think there is a plan. I think the plan was for Enic and this ownership was to see how they acclimated to Thomas Frank. And if the fans like Thomas Frank, I think they were just going to roll with him for the next 2 or 3 years and kind of check back in then. But if they aren't acclimated to him, like I think we're seeing now, I think they're definitely going to be ready to pull the trigger in the summer and try to go for maybe Oliver Glasner, who I don't think would be interested in coming to us. I think he would rather go to, say, a Liverpool or definitely a Man United. I think Oliver Glasner and Man United are written all over for each other. So they already play with 3 in the back, all this, whatever. So I think Oliver Glasner is going to want to go there. But I think they'd be ready to pull the trigger on Frank. I think they would go in that summer with the manager appointment being the main concern and kind of let the player shopping kind of drop because, if we don't have a manager, there's no point of going in the player market if you don't have a manager. You don't know what the style of play is going to be and all that. And Tottenham doesn't have an identity outside of that, which we're going to get into in just a bit. So, but yeah, that's what I believe the plan is. I believe there's no plan, and I believe the plan is to see and to react to how the end of the season goes, if it can. But I think right now, the ownership have their finger on the trigger for Thomas Frank. So they're just trying to see how the rest of the season goes. If the season goes bad, I think they're going to want to get rid of him. If the season goes mediocre to average, I think they'll keep him, right? At least give him a couple more months into next season. Or if I think it's a positive, they're just going to say, all right, well, we'll go hands off for the next 2 to 3 years. We'll let Lange do his things, and they're going to continue to build the hotel and do whatever they need to do for the Euros and do this for the concerts and all that. So that's really what they're doing. They're really just kind of monitoring. It's almost like the spoiled father is coming around again to make sure that the maids and the babysitter are doing their job. Right? If it looks like the kids are not crying or not upset with the maid and babysitter, the rich father's going to go back to doing his work, going back on the phone and ignoring the kids again until he hears them screaming, until they run into their room, disrupting him again. Just like what we did with Levy. Enic, right, said, you know what? The children are coming back to me. You're not doing your job, Levy. I'm sorry. You got to go. And you know what? The kids walked away happy. So you know what they said? All right, well, we gotta, move some things around, make some plans, and we're just gonna see if this makes the kids happy, right? Let's just see if this works, right? It's so apparent, right? It's so apparent because even with Enic, you could say Enic was taking over, right? There was no form of like any sort of check of what's going on, right? We didn't like hire anybody to go in and take a look at how we're doing and how the different departments are doing. We immediately hired a guy that's known for his PR in Vinay, right? We tried to do this double appointment of sporting directors, right, to appease them. Or maybe it was we knew that Paratici was going to leave. So it's like we offer him this to kind of as like a comfort to help him slide into his next job, right? Like, in fact, on top of that, you bring in Thomas Frank. You bring in players which you do a hijack from Chelsea because we just got hijacked twice. You bring in a Kolo Muani who wasn't necessarily anything special at Juventus, but showed something to be your striker. You hijack Xavi Simons from Chelsea because Madison's out. You get rid of Son. Apparently, you had plans to get rid of Brendan Johnson because as soon as Crystal Palace came calling, you were ready to get rid of him. So apparently, you already had plans to get rid of Johnson. You brought in Mohamed Kudus, right? It's very apparent that they've been moving in a reactionary phase. Nothing's really been, no action's been made where it seems like it's calculated. And that they said, okay, this move is to set us up so that we know what we're doing for the next 2 to 3 years. It's all just been, because this thing happened, all right, we need to do this. All right, this happens, all right, we need to do this. All right, we need to do this. We need to get this guy. Okay, we fired this guy, so we need to get another guy in immediately. And it's like, are you actually planning out what's happening, which goes into, is there a plan, right? So, like, these kind of mesh together because, like, if you're moving in this reactionary state, there's no way you're looking into the foresight of what the next 2 to 3 years are going to be. You're just trying to make sure that your next step, you have something to step on. You have a platform for your next step. And yes, that could be beneficial. Or you could, let me not say it could be beneficial. You can dress that up nice, right? Because you could say the next step is, after winning the Europa Champions League, is to win the UEFA Champions League and win the Premier League because we won a trophy. That looks nice as your next step, but are you actually doing the things to make that next step? If you're just making up stuff to get to that next step, there's no actual plan, then you're just making stuff as you go along. And you're not going in the actual direction you want to go to. You're just going in whatever direction you're making up the step for. So it's like, if you ask me the question, is there a plan? I'd say no, there's no plan. And we're kind of just shooting at the hip. I think, like I said, this ownership is, and in not too long, they're going to do a check to see if Frank still deserves his job. Their finger is on the trigger right now, right? They got the gun loaded, and they're just waiting to see at the end of the season if they have to just go ahead and pull the trigger, or if they have to try to save his life. Right? It's crazy, but I mean, yeah, I don't really think there's a plan right now. If you ask me, to be quite honest, and that sounds negative, but it's the truth. I don't really think there's a plan right now. There is no plan. And if you ask me, if they held a forum right now, which they would never do, but if they held a forum right now and you had some diehard fans that would look everybody up there in the eye and ask, what are we doing next? I guarantee you the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, oh, well, we want to win the Premier League. Oh, well, we want to win the Champions League. And that right there lets you know that there's no plan. There's no plan. Because just saying some lofty goal that everybody likes to hear is not a plan. Right? Saying that you want to be the best and you want to be better is not a plan. We need the actual action steps laid out, right? I think the first thing that needs to happen is some sort of audit, right? I say you go ahead and get, what's his name? The dude from United that did the Ragnick. Ralph Ragnick, right? You get a Ralph Ragnick, and maybe not even him, but just a figure like him, a Ralph Ragnick. You get him to come in and you say, tell us what's wrong with Tottenham. Tell us what you see wrong, whether it's someone going through the accounting books, whether it's someone walking through the facilities, whether you're watching an actual football game, a live match, right? If you're watching practices, right? If you're interviewing some of the staff, tell us what's wrong and what we need to do. And I think you need to take that advice, I would say, from someone like Ralph Ragnick, because he called that Man United situation like that. He just said it. He just said it in an interview. That's just what it is. That's what it is. Funny enough. And then other managers come in and they sit there and they shrug their shoulders like, well, I don't know what to tell you guys. I can't tell you what the issue is. I don't know what's going on. Well, Ralph Ragnick told you what the issue was. He just came on and just let you know what it is. Same thing with Conte here at Tottenham. He let us know what it was, and the fans didn't want to listen to that. They didn't want to try to, okay, let's create a plan from what he said. They just, I can't believe, I can't hear you. Conte, what a dick face, right? Like, they didn't want to sit there and listen to the actual criticism. Someone who's won. We're trying to get to those levels. He's been there with multiple teams. He's done it with multiple teams. He just left the place that won to do this job. And then after his job, he went to another place and won again. Like, it's it. He is the guy you can bring in to win. And he told you what the issue was. The fans were just like, nah, not listening to it. That guy's just a jerk off. Go home, jerk off to Italy. Go home. We don't care. Yeah, we got Ben Davies. We're re-signing Ben Davies, and we're going to run it up on you. We're going to show you who Tottenham really is. Once we re-sign Ben Davies to this contract, we're really about to show Conte who we are. Right? Unbelievable. So there's no plan. Enic has no plan. They have not expressed any sort of plan moving into the future. And fans, should either hold Enic accountable for that, or they should just stop expecting things to happen at this point because there is no plan for things to happen. And that's the issue as well. Fans get all riled up. They get all in their emotions about, why can't we do this? Why can't we? And it's like there's no plan. There's no plan. There's no plan. You should have. You've been told that there's no plan. Um, what is Tottenham? Who are Tottenham? Who are we? This is a question. Now I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm this diehard fan that knows the Tottenham identity like the back of my hand. I'm gonna make this very quick because I know this topic can be very divisive and emotional, especially from a fan that's not necessarily from England that hasn't been watching Tottenham his whole entire existence. So I know some fans go, "Oh, why you don't know what you're talking about?" So let me just say this, right? Tottenham, to me, and from what I've seen in the moments that I've connected with the club the most, what Tottenham is a team that plays attacking football with close to near, not almost none, but close to near abandonment of defense, but a balance to where there's defense that's there, right? But playing attacking football and having a level of skill to uphold a certain to look good doing it. And I'm not saying that everything's abandoned to look good to do flicks and tricks, but like the players that we have were always capable of that sort of flair, that sort of skill that was needed. Having those players in the squad to play that way. And it was always very high energy. You're always running. You're running because you're running, creating chances on offense, and you got to run back on defense, right? And the fans want to see you huffing and puffing and just got back in time. When Tottenham was playing that way, and to be quite honest, I think the most reflected was during the Pochettino times. I think that's most recently, right? That I would say. That's when I've been most connected with the team. And I think that's when I think a lot of fans, and I think a lot of fans today would say that was close to what the Tottenham way is, or that is what the identity of Tottenham is. But you look at things like like to dare is to do, right? And you couple that with that football, right? That in and of itself is whatever that feeling is, or whatever you get from that, how you feel and what you see, that I think is what fans believe is the Tottenham way. Is to every game to go out there, play with almost damn near abandonment of defense and running to protect the goal, but to go out there to attack, and look good doing it. And you're going to run your socks off, going both directions, forward, backwards, playing offense and defense. And when it's the end of your shift, the crowd is going to give you a roar of approval for doing so. And that's what Tottenham. That's what I identify with Tottenham. I remember watching them play in White Hart Lane, and that's what it was. You know, not necessarily it was saying it was basketball sort of games, but that's what you could get. You could get a quick counterattack where you see the team starting from our own box. Everybody just breaks off into a full sprint. You just see 3 white shirts going down, running down the lane with absolute blinding pace. That's the Tottenham I remember. So, I mean, I think that's what fans would want. And with that, what does that entail? Okay, so you need players that I think are good on the ball as far as passing. You need that's like a requirement. You have to be able to pass and move. pass and move quickly. I think pace is a thing. We want players with pace. We want players that run powerfully, that take the ball on their foot and carry it, right? You don't necessarily need to be playing tiki-taka, pass, 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 pass. We like those nice passes and those nice forms of play, but I think we like to see players making those strong melodic runs with the ball. We like seeing those players with those strong, fast-paced runs trying to get in on the action on the side. That's what we want to see. For defense, we need defenders that are skillful on the ball, not necessarily saying they're just as good as the offensive players, but like just as much skill on the ball, that can pass from the back, that are calm on the ball, that can help dictate the tempo, help dictate the pace, help dictate the ball getting up forward, right? And then are able to have the pace and the skill to get back into position and to defend for their lives, right? They're not these defenders that just sit there and just in front of the goalkeeper all game. They want those defenders that are gonna be at the halfway line, run all the way back, clear it, ping a ball 60 yards forward, run all the way up there to help push up and press the team forward. Oh, they turn the ball over, get the ball back, run all the way back. They want those players to run and be involved as if they were a midfielder or if they were an offensive player. We want to see the defenders working hard like that. And ultimately for the goalkeeper, I think the fans like a goalkeeper that's good with the ball on their feet, but is ultimately a great shot stopper. I think we like good shot stoppers. We like making those. We like goalkeepers that can make those athletic, picturesque saves, especially with how I was describing the football before. If these teams are going to be like countering against us and stuff and getting those shots off, we want a goalkeeper that's good at stopping those. So that's what ultimately I think fans, as much as they give Vicario stick, they still want to see Vicario play. There's a lot of Tottenham fans that still think Vicario is a solid goalkeeper and a solid option because he's good at making those quick, getting on the ground shot stops and things of that nature. So, yeah, that's what I think Tottenham is. That is who Tottenham is. That's what it is, and that's what we need. And right now, do we have that? No, I don't think we have that at all. Are we far away from that? Yes, I think we're very far away from that. And I don't think it takes a lot to play good football. So let me say this. It takes less to play good football than it is to play successful winning football, right? And I think that's always been kind of the I guess the division and conflict with Tottenham. We have a good team, but is the football successful? This team looks great when they play. It's energizing. It's inspiring. It makes the fans want to run through a wall just as much as the players are running through walls out there. But was it successful? Did we get anything out of it? And that's always going to be it's always going to be more to try to win. It's always going to take more to win. So once we have that as Tottenham, can we push on? Will the fans want to push on and demand more from the squad? Can the manager push on and demand more from the team? Can the players demand more and push themselves to be successful and play that way? Because that's ultimately what we want as Tottenham. That is ultimately what we want, is a Pochettino team that can win a Carabao Cup, let alone a Premier League, Champions League. We can win a Carabao Cup that way. It'd probably be one of the most historic cup runs. People would be talking that cup run for decades, almost centuries, damn near. So, yeah, that's just. I just wanted to kind of have that little. That's what I think Tottenham is. That's who we are. You know, that's how far away we are from it. So I mean, yeah. Last but not least, have to do this. I had to do this. I had to do this, and I'm not sure this is gonna go viral. I'm sure it's not gonna go viral. There's only nobody's watching this, so hopefully this won't go viral in the future. But Arsenal, 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 Arsenal. I hate this team so much. I hate this team so much. I can't stand them. I can't stand their fans. I can't stand how plastic the team is. I can't stand that color red. I can't stand the chants. I can't stand the players. Now get me with this, right? And I don't want anybody to think this is like a deep thing. If Mikel Arteta left Arsenal today, say on the sideline, someone beams him, kicks him straight in the side of the temple, right? And the next day he quits his job and he goes and coaches anywhere else, literally any other team. I'm good. I'm fine. I don't care. Don't give a fuck. Bukayo Saka, right? If he got, right, if someone kicked him in the side of the temple and his brain all in his skull, and for whatever reason he wakes up the next day and goes, yeah, I want to leave Arsenal. I want to go to fucking Brighton, or I want to go to Man United. Don't care anymore. Don't care anymore. Honestly, probably don't care anymore, right? Martin Odegaard wants to go back to Real Madrid. Don't care anymore. Best of luck to you. I just hate the club. I just hate the club so much. I hate the club so much. I have nothing against the players. I have nothing against the manager. If they all left and they got a whole another 24 players and a whole another new manager, I would hate those 24 players and the new manager. I would not care about any of those players anymore. My hatred is simply for the club, man. And what sucks is seeing the difference in how the ownerships are ran. Because you have one that is not only shooting for better in trying to win a Premier League and Champions League, but they're holding themselves accountable. They're getting rid of players they don't think they need. They're bringing in new staff to bring in better recruitment. And you turn that and you look around at Tottenham and you say to that, you fired a part of our ownership, which for some reason has been holding us down for the last 25 years. And that this other 50% of the ownership is going to be somehow a complete 180 from that. We just had one of our directors in this co-50-50 director of football leave. He's leaving to go to Fiorentina. And we're going to have another director in football who so far hasn't really done shit, hasn't really done a great job with bringing in anybody that has been useful to this club. And now he's about to take over 100%. We have a manager who has absolutely no belief in this squad and is just trying to make sure that we don't finish 17th so that we don't end up in an actual relegation battle, because we don't have hold on. I'm not sure if we're mathematically safe. I think we're mathematically safe now, but he's not really doing anything to uplift the fans as far as the football. He's just trying to make sure he keeps his job for next season. And I think part of keeping his job for next season is at least finishing around 10th, trying to get in the top 10. So I think he's going to go back to that board and say, hey, we finished 7th place is higher than last season. You got to give me another chance. He could give a fuck about trying to get Europe. He'd give a fuck about finishing 8th and 9th where all these fans think we are. He's saying if I can get 10th, 11th, 12th, at least 5 positions, that's good enough, right? Good enough. Just at complete opposite ends of the world right now. But yet, whenever it comes to these little bouts where we're talking about each other, we go at each other, we hate each other so much. Our hatred for each, and this goes both ways, because Arsenal fans, as much as they want to sit here and try to make fun of Spurs, they're not really a big club, their hatred for us is what drives their fans to be as annoying as they are to everybody else, right? Because to everybody else, I don't really think when a lot of clubs really hate Arsenal that much, on face value other than their fans are so fucking annoying. And their fans are so fucking annoying because they want to be annoying to Tottenham fans so much, right? And it's like Tottenham, right? We want to sit here and say, oh, we're not competing with Arsenal. We're only competing with Tottenham. We're just looking at the man in the mirror right now. But our fan base is in damn near meltdown because we know Arsenal's about to win the Premier League. And here we are, literally on the other end in relegation. We won a trophy in the Europa League. You think a platform for us to try to get up to that level where Arsenal is, and we're not. Our ownership is making sure this team falls flat on its face again. Probably damn near sabotage this team this January window by not getting anybody. Similar to what we saw with Pochettino when we made it to that final, right? And for whatever reason, the ownership just thought, just not going to buy any players. Not going to buy players. Forget it. I can see that happening again this January. How could you see that happening? We've done it before. So I can see that happening again. Funny thing enough, I can see Arsenal going into this January window and buying more players. They're 6-7 points in the league, can be damn near double digits in the league, and I can see them getting more players by the end of January. I can see them wanting more. So I say all this to say, if you're like me and you hate Arsenal, there should be something inside you to say, even if we won the Europa League last season, and even if we have Solanke and Madison and Kulusevski who should be doing this for us, and even if we have Xavi Simons now and Kolo Muani and Mohamed Kudus now, and we have this manager that's holding us back, and once we get an Oliver Glasner or an Areola, we're going to be, oh, watch out, world. The least you could say is this team needs to compete because those dog turds across the street wearing red T-shirts are about to win the Premier League. You can at least try to say the ownership needs to wake up because your rivals, right, the model that you're probably trying to copy in some way is about to win. And their fans are going to rub it into your fans' face. And your fans aren't going to be happy. Our fans should be saying Arsenal is about to make this summer the most living hell that you could possibly think of, with their team winning the Premier League and our team damn near relegation. And they're about to make everybody else's lives a living hell because they want to make Tottenham fans' lives a living hell. So the least you should say as a Tottenham fan is, even if we aren't competing for the Premier League, let's at least try to compete with Arsenal, our rivals, right? Let's try to at least they got a Bukayo Saka. Let's try to get one of those. They just got a Declan Rice. Let's try to get one of those. They got a Martin Odegaard. Let's get one of those. This whole competing with the man in the mirror bullshit excuse is not working. It's been 25 years, right? It's not working, right? Whoever this man in the mirror is, we're losing. We're missing punches. They're ducking and diving and dodging, and we're not landing anything right now. Their ownership group just won because they just won. They own a franchise in America in the National Hockey League that just won a trophy in the last 5 years. They own a team in the National Basketball Association in America that just won a trophy in the last 5 years. And now they're moving on to this football club and trying to win a trophy within this 5 years. Do you see the intent that they're moving with? Do you see that the actions that they took to make sure they moved with that intent? And now look at our ownership. When 50% of our ownership just said, oh, the other 50% was holding us back. We don't know what the hell was happening. Okay, well, do you see any audits going on? You see people going in, checking in on making sure everybody's doing their jobs correctly. Do you see people getting fired? Do you see people moving on? You see some movement. There was some movement with the medical staff. But then Solanke gets hurt with the dead leg, and we haven't seen him since, right? Kulusevski gets hurt. We haven't seen him since. We're still having injury problems, and the timelines we're getting for the medical staff aren't lining up. We're getting players back and are getting hurt immediately and going back out again. We have an ownership model that literally just said we're trying to win the Premier League and hired a manager that says, I don't even think we're even close to winning. I don't think we can win more than 10 games this season. We're damn near struggling to get 10 games of good performances this season. This ownership just said they want to win a Premier League, and you're having to try to hijack players because you got hijacked twice. You don't have a third option. You're having to buy players who were sitting out on their ass because the team they were playing for didn't want to sign them to anything. And you're thinking that's going to be your future. This is going to be the guy that help leads the line. You got an ownership right now that's got their finger already on the trigger of Frank, ready to fire him because they're so damn reactionary. They don't even know what they want to do next. They're just trying to make sure the fans aren't pissed off. Because guess what? They're going to want to roll around when May comes, and June comes, and July comes. They're going to say, hey, about those season tickets, guys. Gonna need you to renew those. Hey, I'm just going to slide this link to renew the season tickets right here. I'm just going to leave this for you. Leave this right here. You address this whenever you want, right? They know they're going to have to do that. And you know what the fans are going to say? Why, Volk? Man, why the hell should I pay for what I'm seeing now? Especially if we get rid of Frank. We're not even going to have a manager. And you're telling me to cough up another $1,500? Another $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 for some season tickets with what's going on right now? And to top it all off, during that summer, you're coming to me asking for me for $1,500 when we may not even have a manager, and those dog turds in red t-shirts are having a parade. I gotta walk through their damn parade to get to where I'm going. I gotta walk through their parade to get to work. And I have to look at this. And you want me to pay $1,500 this season? Again? For what? For what? It is coming to a head. Oh, trust me, it's coming to a head. And this ownership knows it. That's why the finger is on the trigger. Because guess what? If Frank won 10 games in a row, imagine Frank had the exact same season Ange Postecoglou had. Got off to a great start. Won 10 games in a row and then lose all the rest, right? All right, let's say even now. Let's not even try to do that. Let's not even try to do a hypothetical now. Let's take the season we're having now. If Thomas Frank went on to win a streak of 5 games in a row, it quieted about half of this fan base as far as the football being played. Ownership is hands off. Hands off. They would not care at all. They wouldn't care about how the fans were reacting before, at the beginning of the season, in the middle of the season, all the way up until before those 5 games. They're going to act as if a new leaf has been turned. They're going to say, oh, business as usual, going to keep going. But right now, you and I both know the finger is on the trigger. And as soon as this January window closes, but if we don't have anybody when this January window closes, before the end of the season, it's going to be gone before the end of the season. Because we're already seeing the Champions League fans aren't showing up to games. And they said if you can't even pull the butts in the seats, I don't know how the hell we're going to give you money to buy more players. If you can't even get the butts in the seats, there's no point of you being here. You can't even get butts in the seats. How are you going to get the fans behind you? How are you going to get the players behind you? How are you going to go for top 4? How are you going to do this, this, and this, and this, and this, and that? Oh. Meanwhile, across the street, it's champagne baths. They're popping bottles. Everybody having a good time. You remember we beat Tottenham 4 to 1, 4-0 at home. Eze hat trick. They didn't even use him the rest of the season. He's played like 2 games. Just brought him out to score in Tottenham after we stole him from him. 4-0. And we won the Premier League. Next season, defending champions. Oh, let's go ahead and get this banner up. Oh, we have to be one of the first games this season televised so we can lift up the trophy in front of everybody. Can you imagine if they win the Champions League? Something they haven't won before. Oh. It's over. The season, it would be a summer filled with hell. And guess what our ownership would say? Hey, buddy, we got this nice hotel shindig going on. And, hotels cost a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? We got a couple of concerts, you know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder, he's fighting. You know what I'm saying? That costs a lot of money, man. Hey, man. Season tickets coming up, and price of the brick's going up. Price of the brick is going up. You got Arsenal fans celebrating in the streets. And you got Mikel Arteta is just so happy to be us as the manager. They doubted us. They hate us because they ain't us. I always believed in this team. No, I'm not taking the Man City position. Pep Guardiola can go fuck himself. You see his Arsenal. It is what we do. We play teams. And we beat our goalkeeper. We tell the goalkeeper we break his legs in this corner. Yeah, break his legs in the corner. Ball goes in, goal. Right. Other teams don't stop us. We keep breaking goalkeepers' legs. Goes. We win the league. Yeah, that fucking. Oh my God. Again, nothing personal against Arteta, right? As soon as he leaves Arsenal, great manager. Able to go to a team, win a Premier League, was able to do this, has an FA Cup in his name. Oh, yeah, let him go get whatever job he wants. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, don't worry about it. Oh, he's a good guy. I think that team should stick with him. And I hope it works out well for him. But Bukayo Saka, oh, yeah, great player. Don't mind him at all. Don't mind him. Hey, if he's at Man United, good luck to him. Honestly. Could wish the best for the guy. Martin Odegaard going back to Real Madrid. Good on him. Good on him for going back to his club that he started at. Good on it. Best of luck to the guy. Just a swell guy. Best of luck to him. There's nothing personal against these guys. But I can't fucking stand this club. I can't fucking stand the fans. I can't fucking stand my club right now, to be honest. And the fact that our rival club is moving on up, is getting better and better each day, and it's accumulated now over the last 4 to 5 years. Because let's not forget, it was with Conte during what, 2020, 2021. We were beating this team to top four. Their fans were falling apart. Their team was falling apart. This dude was about to be fired. And this is where they are now. Where are we? Where are we? What are we doing? We're sitting here trying to figure out if Archie Gray or Bergvall is going to be the future of our midfield. We're sitting here waiting for Kulusevski to come back and save the season. It begs belief. The amount of negligence you have to have, the amount of you just don't give a fuck about what's going on around you. The amount of it's laughable. It's laughable at this club. And the fact that the fans have accepted it. Because of what? Oh, Man City's winning the league, so it really doesn't matter that Arsenal is building to be one of the next dominant teams in the next decade. Who cares? It's City winning. Don't worry. Oh, City, come to Tottenham and beat us. Come beat us in our backyard, please. Because we're not going to try to stop Arsenal. So come beat us. Yes, help us lose to make sure that they lose. What? Come beat us in our own backyard. I hope our players miss opportunities on goal so Arsenal don't win. I hope we don't win a game so Arsenal lose. That's what we have to do. And this is not I hate Arsenal so much I want them to lose. No. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. That's an excuse for the ownership and for the fans to not take accountability for allowing this to happen. It's an excuse. Oh, I hate Arsenal so much. In that one instance. Well, it's probably about to fucking happen again. And guess what you're going to say? I hope whoever comes over to beat us so that Arsenal loses. If Man City had to play Tottenham 10 times in a row and beat us at least 3-0 at home so Arsenal don't win the Premier League, guess what fans are going to do? Guess what they're going to decide? Instead of putting the fate in their own hands and maybe making this ownership have some accountability, maybe showing some accountability and responsibility yourselves of saying, I'm not going to allow this team to do this. We need to be trying to make decisions to do this, and this, and compete on this, and this level. Instead of just, yes, Archie Gray, yes, Bergvall, yes. They wanted to come to Tottenham. Yes, Kolomowani wanted to come to Tottenham. Get in there. Xavi Simons, yes, get in there, yes. Yes, sign Ben Davies. Ben Davies, he's back. Yes, I always wanted Ben. Ben Davies is a great player. Tottenham through and through. Yes, I back it. Let's go. It's Tottenham against the world. Halfway through the season, man, I want the manager out. I want half this squad gone. I want the ownership gone. I've been bamboozled. I've been lied to. My heart's broken. My children have been lied to. Their stomachs are empty. Food's been taken out of their mouths. How could Tottenham do this to us? How could we all fall for this over again? Bentancur! We re-signed Bentancur! Yes, get in there! Get in there, yes, Bentancur! Absolutely! Oh, you just wait till Kulusevski gets back. You wait till Kulu gets back. Yeah, King Kulu. Oh, yeah, you wait till he gets back. Oh, you just wait till Solanke comes back. Wait for Solanke. He's going to be He's going to help us. Oh, you just wait till this summer and we get Oliver Glasner, who's going to come and pull a whole nother 11 out of his ass and put it on the field instead of the crap players we already have. And he's going to use those players to win and do whatever he needs to do. That's what fans think is going to happen. Oliver Glasner's going to come in and he's going to put his elbow on his knee and say, hey, guys, hey, we need to win a couple of games because the fans want us to win. And do you care about the fans? And the players are going to be like, yeah, we care about the fans. And the players will be like, you know what? Oliver Glasner just told us to go out there and pass the ball and try to win the game. And that's something Thomas Frank never did. That's something Ange never did. That's something these managers have never done. Wow. If only we knew now. Now we're going to play great football. Areola's going to come in. Oh, yeah, I've taken this Bournemouth team, which was a small club. That's crap. I'm going to do the same for you, Tottenham. Hooray. Yay, everybody. Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much, Areola. I could have never. Oh, my God. We were looking for a guy like you. Do you know our rivals have a hundred fucking million pound midfielder? That's looking like probably one of the best midfielders in this country. So glad we got you, because we got this guy named Archie Gray, who we think is pretty swell. We think he's pretty swell on the ball. We got this guy named Bergvall. He runs with the ball. He looks so good. He looks so cool when he's running with the ball. Bergvall. We got these two guys, right? You know our rivals have a 100 million pound winger on the right. We bought this cool guy named Mohamed Kudus. Yeah, he's so cool. Yeah, when he gets the ball. Do you see the touch he took when he took it on the inside of his foot? He crossed his leg and he received the ball that way. It's so cool. So cool. They have two midfielders, probably both worth, what, 150 million, up to 150 million? Two midfielders, Eze and Odegaard. Guess who we got? We got this cool guy named Xavi Simons. We didn't even want him. We just stole him from Chelsea. Yeah. So, Areola, this is what you got. We need to finish top 4 next season. And if you don't, you're fired because you're a shit manager. You don't care about Tottenham. And Tottenham's bigger than you, and Tottenham's going to be better than you ever were, and you're a stupid, dumb poop face because you can't get Tottenham to win. That's what happens. And when we get Oliver Glasner in next season, after Arsenal win the league, and he sits there and tells us all this is bullshit like every other manager has, fans going to sit there, nah, I don't like this guy anymore. Nah, he's not telling me, he's not giving me good news about Archie Gray. He's not giving us positive news about Bergvall and Archie Gray and thinking the squad could finish in top 4. Nah, don't want him. Not only that, he's a shit manager anyways. Oliver Glasner was never good. He went to a crap Crystal Palace team that didn't even do much. Oh, Areola at Bournemouth. Oh, it was never that good anyways. They fell off once Savinho went to Man City. It is whatever. As Arsenal, right? What's that dude's name? Who's the dude that's doing the recruitment over there now? Is it Andre Alexander Bird? Andre Bird? Whatever his name is. I know Bird is his last name. They're gonna be fucking. Oh my god. They're just getting better, and we're just getting worse. It's just getting worse. And we're not getting any better. And it's coming to a head. It's coming to a head. It's coming to a point where they're going to win. We are going to be on complete opposite side of the field. And funny enough, a lot of fans predicted this. A lot of fans say the wake-up moment for this fan base is either us going to be relegated, which last season didn't scare enough fans, right? We finished 17th and half the fans said we don't care. So I guess this is the next step. You got to watch your rivals not only crush the league, but then destroy you in the process, right? Because it'd be different if Tottenham drew with Arsenal than everybody else failed. We lost, 4-0, 4-1. One of the players that they stole from us that we had signed, which all we had to do was give him the pen to sign the contract, and we said, wait, before you sign that, let me... Oh, he's gone. Arsenal stolen. Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, guys? What are we going to do? The guy they stole from us got a hat trick in front of our face. Our manager didn't even try to attack Arsenal. He admitted defeat before the game even started. It just said, hopefully it won't be that bad. Hopefully it won't be too bad. That's what we did. That's what our contribution has been to this season and Arsenal winning the title. Is whenever they came to town, they said, hopefully we don't get our asses kicked too bad. You know what the fans are going to say? Oh, well, it was the manager. It's the manager's fault. The manager, if he could have just, I don't know. If we started this player and this player, I don't know, man. Yeah, I just don't think the manager is telling them to pass enough. I think on the sideline, you should yell at them to pass more, and maybe they'll pass more. Oh, we created no chances, but I just don't think the manager's ever told them to create more chances. Yeah, I don't think the manager is sitting with them and telling them to create the chances. I think he's just, skipping over it and doing whatever else. Which is true. There is some credence to that. But you can't tell me, you just can't tell me this. You can't tell me that as a Tottenham fan, not only were you okay with this performance against Arsenal, but you're okay with the season Arsenal is having right now. It is squeaky, clench as hard as you can, clench your bum hole as hard as you can, and we're hoping and we're praying that Man City don't fuck up. All we're hoping and we're praying. I can feel it now. God, I can feel it. You can feel it within the Tottenham fan base. God, we hope Man City can just get some form and win some games. Because if Arsenal win, as much as fans want to sit here and say, I don't care about Arsenal, it's about what Tottenham do, is one of the biggest lies, one of the biggest bullshit stories any Tottenham fan can feed you at the moment. It is Code 5, Alpha Red, whatever name you want to type of emergency. If this team continues to play how they're playing, they're winning the Premier League. Like, it's almost as good as mathematical at this point. People don't understand how dire this is. It is almost damn near mathematical that they're going to win the Premier League. Tottenham fans, here we are, still holding on to a Europa League against a Man United team that's above us right now. We're still holding on to that. The team that we beat in the finals above us right now. They're better than us. You know what they said? God, we lost that final. Sucks. Move on. And what are we doing? We still got it. Kings of Europe. Champions of Europe. In fucking 13th place. When your rival in Arsenal's about to win the league. Chelsea just spent $1 billion and is still competing with you. They just fired their manager. They fire their manager every 2 years and still somehow are better than you. Chelsea's copying our model of firing a manager every 2 months. and bringing in a new one, but yet somehow they're able to compete. They're still somehow higher than us. They can still get Champions League. What are we doing? We're watching Arsenal take off right now. I mean, they're already off in the sky. They're about to land. They're about to land from their journey. They're about to be there already. We're still at the other airport. Still going through our luggage, looking for tickets. Still making sure we got everything packed in our bags. Still making sure we brought everything from home. We're still trying to figure out where we're going. We're still trying to book the hotel before we get there. That's where we are. We're already at the airport watching everybody else take off. And we're still planning the trip. We're still making sure we can have someone pick us up at the airport. And still making sure we have our hotel booked. We're making sure that we still have enough underwear and socks for the trip. That's where we are. So I don't want to hear from any Tottenham fans that it's okay right now. It's not okay, man. It's not okay. Internally, it's not okay. Outside of Tottenham, it's not okay. It's not okay anywhere. There's no way any Tottenham fan can tell me things are fine. It's like the meme of that dog sitting in a fire. He's like in a restaurant and there's flames everywhere. He's just like, this is fine. Don't let any Tottenham fan lie to you like that. It's not fine. We're losing our minds right now. We're going crazy. Our rivals are about to win the Premier League. And we're just trying to figure out how to get back into the top 10. And we're sucking at it. We're not even doing that well. I don't think Tottenham fans understand what we're in right now. I don't want to be negative. I don't want to sound all crazy, losing my mind, but that is it. I'm almost at head loss at this point. What are we doing? What are the fans doing? What are they seeing? You got some fans that are saying, well, yeah, but we should be doing better right now. Are you crazy? Are you actually crazy? Are you actually insane? We should be doing better right now? With what? With who? Doing what? Doing who? Where? And when? How and why? Answer me those 5 questions. For people who say we should be doing better, who, what, when, where, why, how, what, whatever. Tell me how. Where in your mind do you think things should be better? Where are things better? Where is the sunshine shining that we're not seeing right now? Because things look like it's pretty bad. And we got a whole lot of evidence of why things are bad. So when people are saying, well, things could be better because this thing and this thing aren't happening, because we're not playing good football on the eye, so things kind of suck right now. Things kind of suck right now because we have a director of football. We've had our 50-50 director of football partnership split right before January window. We had half of our ownership fucking leave, and the other half blame them. It's saying they've been holding the club back for the last 25 years. They couldn't believe that. They just couldn't believe it. Like they just got back home and the kids trashed the house from a party. And they're like, what the hell happened? We got players like Archie Gray and Bergvall that fans are saying just give them 3 or 4 years and they might be good. that's what we're hoping. Like that's the most solid thing in the future that we have that fans are relying on is Archie Gray and Bergvall's development. That is the only thing fans have looking into the future. And even then, I can't even say if that's actually going to happen. Because what if this squad gets worse? Do you think they're going to be better as this squad gets worse? If we lose another manager, are they going to be better learning under this would be at that time it'd be their third manager, right? Ange, Frank, and whoever it'd be at that time. You think under their third manager in 3 years they're going to be progressing? That's what fans want to rely on. That's what fans are. Oh, don't worry about Arsenal. Don't worry about Chelsea. Don't even think about that, dude. Just think. We have Archie Gray and Bergvall, and they don't. Like, are you out of your fucking mind? Are you crazy? That's what we're. Oh my god. Oh, we should be doing better. By the way, folks, remember that. If you think I'm freaking out, we should be doing better. So imagine what those people are doing right now. Imagine what they're saying right now. Oh my gosh. Well, on that, I have to end this. I'm only supposed to be going an hour. I went 2 hours. Did like a 30-minute rant on this Arsenal team. I had to get this out. It's halfway through the season, folks. So the roses, what you're smelling right now are the roses. And sadly enough, roses are red. So is Arsenal. That's what you're smelling. The shit, that's us. That shit smell, that's us. That's us. The roses you smell, that's Arsenal. Because they're about to win the league. They're in the best form in the Premier League, best form in Europe, on top of the Champions League, on top of the Premier League. And where are we? Where are we? We have Archie Gray and Bergvall. Hey, did you know that Archie Gray has more starts this season than he had last season? That's progression. Hey, did you know that Bergvall was in Barcelona's academy? So just think where he's going to be in 3 years. Don't worry about Arsenal though. Don't worry about them. No, they're not the competition. The man in the mirror right here. That's who we're looking at. That's who we're facing. And we have Archie Gray and Bergvall on our sides for the fight. I know whose side I want to be on. I know I want to be on the side with Archie Gray and Bergvall. I don't want to be on the side of the dude who doesn't have those players. There's a youth academy product named Alfie Divine that I think if we can bring it to this team, would completely transform everything. Ooh! I forgot. We also have this player named Dejan Kulusevski, who's really good. And I would rather have him on my team than not have him on my team. Well, Arsenal's winning the damn league. All right, let me stop. I gotta stop right here. I've been going on for way too long. Let me just end this stream right here. It's over, folks. It's over. I'm gonna be preparing this summer. I got mute Arsenal. I'm gonna mute the color red. Somehow I'm gonna mute that from my mind. I'm going to I don't know. I'm here in America, so luckily not that many people care about like soccer in the Premier League. But guess what? Arsenal is a big enough club. They got fans. International now. International. So I'm sure there's going to be – I got a couple of Arsenal friends that are going to be rubbing it in my face. I got a couple of – oh, my God. Oh. Guess what my comeback's going to be? But do you have a Bergvall? Do you have Archie Gray? Yeah, but we didn't have James Maddison this season. Dejan Kulusevski was out for a majority of the season. So things would have been different. It would have been different, actually, if we had those players. Just, oh, my God. Just fucking kill me now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hey, you guys don't deserve that. You guys deserve more than that. And you know what? You guys know what you deserve as well. You deserve to be informed of whenever I go live. You also deserve the credit of showing your friends and family the amazing content I'm producing for you all. So how about you like this stream, subscribe to the channel. Right now, you can hit that notification bell. I post pretty much the days I go live, what time I'm going live, what I'm talking about, and everything. I also post on X. If you follow my X, I'll post a link to the live stream. So all you got to do is look at me tweet, and the link will be right there. Click on the link. It'll sit your ass right in the video, and you can just wait for me to go live or leave a comment, share the tweet, whatever you want to do. But get the name out there. Get the content out there. Get the name. Get the brand, all right? And like I said, you don't want to be the person that's late to the party. It's always – don't be that guy that's like, oh, who's this De La Spurs guy? And then you got to go all day of people like, you never heard of De La Spurs? You never heard it? Look at this. This guy never heard of De La Spurs. Who is this guy? You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be the guy at the end of that thumb. You don't want to be the guy at the end of that thumb. So why don't you go ahead, subscribe to the channel now, like this stream, leave a comment, let me know what you think about Sunderland and the Tottenham draw. Let me know what you think about what the plans are for the new year, your outlook. Hell, you don't even have to talk about Tottenham. You just want to leave a comment about how you're going to be doing something new over this year or whatever. You can do that. I don't care. But just leave a comment, like the channel, or I'm sorry, like the live stream, subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. It means the world to De La Spurs. I want to thank you all again for attending tonight's show. I'll be coming to you live again on Wednesday, same time, 6:30 Central Standard Time. So go ahead and set your clock, set your alarms, set whatever you need to set to be here on Wednesday, and I'll be here ready, waiting for you to go live. I want to thank you guys again so much. De La Spurs checking out for tonight. You guys have a good rest of your night. Thank you.